Welcome to Fit Mind, Fit Body, the podcast where we dive into the synergy between running, mindfulness, and living life to the fullest. I'm your host, Michelle Frost, coming to you with an energy-packed series that's as nuts as it is inspiring. We're about to embark on a journey with some incredible individuals who've taken up the Gone Nuts 101 challenge. In fact, I think I've heard it's 103 kilometres. And that's right, it's 103 kilometres of Tasmania's breathtaking trails that will test the limits of their bodies and their minds. In this series, you'll be meeting a few of the brave souls taking on this epic adventure. We'll check in with them monthly, getting the lowdown on all their training, the ups and the downs, and all of the in-betweens. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with a post-race celebration episode, where we'll hear all the war stories and the triumphs from the finish line. So lace up your sneakers and pop in your earbuds, and let's get ready to go nuts. In this episode, we're learning a little bit more about Tim Gunton and why he's taking on the Gone Nuts Challenge. Today, I would like to introduce you all to Tim Gunton. He is another one of these mad people who is joining us for the Gone Nuts adventure. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks, Frosty. Nice to be here.
I haven't actually worked out what we're going to call it yet, this series. Something. I mean, because Gone Nuts feels like it's a name already in its making, doesn't it? Like it's a perfect little two-word thing that it encapsulates what we're about to do. It's a bit nuts.
It does actually, and I think from what I've heard from people halfway through or 3/4 of the way through the run, they actually start to think words like that.
I must be nuts. I love it. All right, Tim. Before we move on, there will be maybe 2 or 3 people in the world who don't know who Tim Gunton is. Maybe only one. But for that person, let's go backwards a little bit. And where did you grow up, Tim? Let's just get a little bit of background before we talk about this adventure.
Yeah, I actually grew up in Launceston. In Summer Hill boy, I suppose.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Oh, you haven't moved far then, have you? I mean, I know that you moved away, though, and then came back again.
Yeah. Grew up in Launceston, and when I was about 30-ish, moved to Brisbane for 10 years. Sharon and I moved up there with Jordan. I think Jordan was about 2. That's our son when we moved up there.
Yeah.
So we're up there for 10 years, and for some reason we came back in 2005. So I've been back in for 18 years.
Wow.
And really enjoy being back. Missed the cold weather down here, and
of course you did.
There's been plenty of it.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? All right. Now, when you were at school, was little Timmy a very sporty dude?
Oh, I did play sport like footy and cricket and a bit of tennis. So always been sporting. Never was real good at anything, but enjoyed the participation side of it.
What about the participation did you like? Was it doing stuff with other people? Did you enjoy the physicality of sport? What was it that you think you liked the most?
The couple of things. Just the team environment. The physicality was all right, especially in the AFL where things got a bit more physical sometimes, which used to be okay. But I used to copy. I was always the guy on the receiving end. My defensive skills weren't that good when I was in a fight. So, but no, it was good fun actually playing footy and just in cricket and just being involved in the team atmosphere. And as it got older, into the teens and late teens, going out for a beverage or 2 afterwards, which was one of the highlights.
Yeah, that's quite a thing in Australian culture, isn't it? The sport mixed with going out to have a beer or whatever it is.
Oh, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and a bit of socialising. What did you do work-wise?
When I left school, I actually started as a apprenticeship in plastering. So I did that for 4 years, but Got out of that at the end of the apprenticeship. It
Didn't
wasn't
know.
quite for me. No, so there you go. And then I spent a couple of years working at St Vincent's Hospital in the wards in the theatre there as a
Yeah.
theatre/ward attendant, which is
Yeah.
good. Then I got a job with Telstra as a lineman. So I spent about 20 years at Telstra, and with that, as I said earlier, when we moved to Brisbane, I actually moved up there with Telstra for work,
Oh, wow.
which was quite good. Seen a bit of the countryside up there, and then came back with Telstra, and then left there. Was still in the communications business with Service Stream for a couple of years, and the last 11 years I was working for NBN, the National Broadband Network. So I was there for 11 years, and I actually finished up in May this year. So I'm now retired, but I'll see what happens in the next 6 or so months to see how much I enjoy retirement.
Are you enjoying it so far? Yeah, you
so far so good. Yeah, we've done like we moved into a house at last Christmas, so we spent the first 5 months sort of finishing off the landscaping here, which is really good. So now it's time to, we've basically got it all finished, so now it's time to get a bit more exercise done and try and get fit.
Yeah. Well, you'll have plenty of time now that you've retired and finished the landscaping.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it should be. Hopefully, it'll be a good times ahead.
So tell me a little bit about running in particular. How did that come into your adult life? Or have you always run, like through school and then through your 20s and 30s and so on?
Not really. I probably didn't enjoy running. Like, as I said before, playing sport and footy, it was always part of the
team stuff.
The team stuff, and you do some running there. But I don't think I did any running events. The probably main reason I started was when we were in Brisbane. Sharon got involved in the gym with a few people that did a bit of running, which they were really nice people. And I was actually playing AFL at that state time up there with one of the local competitions, which was just a fun competition. And as the body started to ache and get a bit sore, I'd go out for a few runs with Sharon when I gave up the footy. And one of the main things was, I'd go to an event. With Jordan, you go to a 10K event or a half marathon, and you sort of, it's great. You watch them start, the people start, and then half marathon, hour 45 or so. Yeah. You're sort of sitting there standing around waiting for Sharon to finish. So it's like, I might give this a go. So
because you were bored.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, and also the social thing, like the runners would all go out. They were a great bunch of people. They'd all go out for a drink, or would go away, and for a weekend they'd run, and it's like, okay, I might join in this running business to see what it's all like. And it was, I enjoyed some of it. Like most runners, we all have our bad runs. So I'd probably say I started running late 30s, I suppose.
Yeah.
And I'm 60 now, so that's 20 odd years.
Yeah.
I stopped a few times. But,
a
few little injuries.
What do you think what's been your favourite when you reflect back in like the running you've done? What would be your favourite? It doesn't have to be an event, it could be, but what are your favourite time or your favourite run or training session or event or whatever? It doesn't matter. Can you reflect on any of that?
There's been a few. We did a few races. Sharon and I did the Marine Corps Marathon in Arlington in Washington. That was a great run, great atmosphere. But I like this. There was a lot of people there, not sure how many, but I think there was 25,000, 30,000, which is a bit too many for me. My actual favourite event, if I have to pick one, which I would say it would have been the Tassie Trail Fest up at Derby, when Jono and Amy and Ultrain and all the volunteers were up there running that. That was just a great event. Everyone sort of enjoyed most of the events. And, I did the multi-day madness a few times, which basically it equated to about 100 Ks over the weekend, which is probably why I thought this guy nuts might be okay to do it in one
a
go.
bit fun. Look, of course you could do that. If you can do it over a weekend, why can't you do it in one day? There you go. And that's what you plan.
Yeah, well, at this stage.
Yeah. I know that you have also done quite a few triathlons. That's also been, is that something that started because of the running, the triathlon side?
It was something I thought I'd always liked to do, but I had no idea. I can't swim. Well, I can survive in the water, but I think actually it came about one day I was doing an event, the Tama Valley Classic used to be, you used to be on a boat, which or a yacht or whatever they call those things that go on water. Then someone rode and somebody run.
Yeah.
And I was doing the run leg with somebody that was actually a triathlete, and he had done my phone just made a noise.
That's fine. I didn't hear
Yeah,
it.
he just done an Ironman somewhere, and we
Okay.
got talking about triathlons, and he said, "Why don't you come to the local tri club and try one?" And I actually, a few months later, I did. So, I started triathlons that way.
Wow.
Always at the back of the pack, but I quite enjoy the challenge of the three different disciplines, or the fourth if you call transitional discipline, which I have a habit of sitting down in and taking my time there. But during that, I've also done 3 or 4 Ironman events, which had been good fun. For the longer distance is more of a enjoyment, because that way you don't have to have that sprinting ability to do a long swim and a bike ride and then finish off with a marathon.
So you quite like that the endurance element of sport now, I think. It seems.
I think so, yeah. As you get older, and slower, it's hopefully more ability to keep going.
Yeah.
More endurance. Yeah.
I also am aware, and it's funny talking to you and Sharon, I'll be like, well, I already know this about you, blah, 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 blah. You guys have done quite a bit of travel with your running as well, which is interesting, and a bit of triathlon too, the travel. How do you find that? That always seems quite interesting to me.
It's actually, I enjoy traveling and finding a run or a triathlon to do when you're away. Probably not so much do the triathlons are a bit of a pain, because you've got to get your bike, and which is always a pain to organise overseas, or even on the mainland. But as for a run, it's good. Yeah, we've done a few runs. Like I said, we did the Marine Corps Marathon. We've done one in Los Angeles. I think a rock and roll marathon series. I think the first one we did in Prague, and we did one in Bangkok where we started at 2:00 in the morning, which was
impressive.
It was an interesting concept. And been in New Zealand for a couple of Ironmans, and Sharon went to Kona, and that was the best one because I got to watch it. That was good. Yeah,
you got to be the support crew.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I love it. All right. So what does your running look like now, Tim?
my style is very unique, but my running at the moment is just actually to maintain a bit of fitness at the moment. In saying that, as you probably know, I came back to LRC, Launceston Running Company.
I do.
Launceston Running Club.
We also have a Launceston Running Company.
The running company.
To Mike.
I've actually been for the last few runs here with Mike and his gang.
There you go, which is also really good.
Launceston Running Club. This year, and that's been a lot of fun. Getting back into that, and that's got the speed up a bit, which has been good, because it's always good to try and beat the times that that I did a few years ago with the club. It doesn't sort of happen that way. But so now I'm just actually training for, before going nuts, I'm doing triple top in next weekend, which will be fun. Hopefully you'll be there. I'm sure you can probably
I
still get
didn't
an
realise it
entry.
was on. Oh, I mean, I know it's on at this time of every year, but I hadn't actually thought about it. So, whoops. I love that run. I've done it like 5 times, but I haven't done it for a few years.
Yeah, I've done it about 6 or 7, I think. So, depending how I go, I just want to get a good time and actually enjoy the run, because, as you know, it's can be challenging up there, the 3 mountains. And if you have a bit of a bad day or lacking a bit of fitness, it makes it a bit harder, a bit longer.
Is it on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday the 12th.
Oh, that's good.
November.
Yeah, I just purely personal reason, because the AGM for the running club is on Saturday. So I was like, something on this weekend, like that weekend. I was like, what is it? No, I know what it is. That's so funny. All right. Now, I also know that you and Sharon were training for a marathon that got called off. Hence, your fitness level is obviously quite good, because it only got called off at the last minute. So you had that preparation for a marathon and didn't quite get to do it recently. So does that mean, now do you think that you're going to come into this training period between now and March? You've already got a good base, got a good foundation?
That's hopefully that's that's the idea at this point in time. Yeah. So I suppose with the Cock Creek being called off, which was unfortunate, Steve got injured and couldn't put it on. But let's hope he's feeling better. I'm sure he listens to your podcast.
I'm sure he does.
Everyone else does. So get better there, mate. And hopefully I have got that base there, which is a good preparation for the training. And I suppose that's one good thing. Well, that's how I'll go at triple top, to see how good the base would have been. But yeah.
So what made you sign up, like this move into Gone Nuts itself? What made you sign up for this particular event?
That is a good question. I don't really know. No, I shouldn't say that. It's one of those events that I thought, one day I'd like to do that.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, I did really love the Tassie Trail Fest. So
yeah.
That's no longer on, and even the local Tassie Trail Fest that Richard North used to put on, that's sort of on hold for the next little while. So and that, with the Cocker Creek Marathon being cancelled, I thought, well, I've done this training, I might as well
make the
do
most
an event where. And the good thing about Gone Nuts and any events in Tassie is they're local, so that's really local for us. So it does make it a lot easier for us to get to, and there's not that big hassle of having to even go to Melbourne or the mainland. So nice local race, and it's a good way also to support the local event companies, which need the local support to keep them all going. So it will be challenging though to see how it goes, but that's basically why I entered.
Do you have a coach? Like when you have an event like this, because I know you guys have done, as you said, even before, some of the major things that you've done. How do you train? Do you have an event a coach, or do you?
Sometimes we don't train as much as we should.
Yeah.
One of the I suppose one of the advantages of going to compete just actually to finish the race is, we basically haven't got a coach, so it's easy to self train. Back in the early days over here, we used to do a lot of training with Jan Lynch, who, as you know, with the JOS squad back in those days, and then that used to be good. So a lot of our training is based on that. We do a program, or I'll be doing a program for Gone Nuts.
Both of you?
Yeah, whether we follow it, that'd be interesting. But the main thing for I think is we'll have some type of program. I have written a few programs I'm actually triathlon coach, foundation coach, which
awesome.
So through that is part of that is doing training programs. So I'll do one and hopefully stick to it. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But just don't ask me how it is at the moment. I'll get over triple tops and then that's about 17 weeks. I think before going nuts. So I'll put together a 16-week or so program and go from there.
What are you most worried about in the 101? Or it's actually 103, somebody said.
Yeah, it's 100. Getting to the finish. No, I think the mental aspect of any long endurance event is the hardest thing. As we probably all know, the mind sort of tells you to give up before the body does. So it'll just be working with the mindset to make sure I'm in to be in the best mindset for as long as possible. And then I suppose any little niggling injuries along the way. But
is this the longest run that you've done?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah. So, and as I said, Sharon and I've done a few Ironmans before, and the cutoff time for them is 17 hours. I've gone close. I've been out there probably 16 hours a few times. So mentally, that can become a little bit tough, but once again in a triathlon event you've got the different disciplines, so you've got once you finish the bike you think, okay, I've only got a 42k run to go, but not quite like that, but that's how it goes. But when you're doing a 101k run, well, I suppose you've still got that.
It's all running.
Mental aspect.
There's none of the changing of the activity.
Exactly. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll be a fun event.
I'm sure it will.
And that's it. There'll be some fun times. There'll be some not so fun times.
Yeah. And you just got to prepare, don't you? I guess that's what it's about, just being prepared as much as you can.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully this podcast series will get us prepared, and anyone listening along who also is perhaps training for it or thinking in the future to go and do some of these more extreme endurance events or will realise that they can, because they'll follow us along and see all of our little things and maybe learn from our mistakes as we make them.
Oh, exactly. Frosty, if we can give it a go, anyone can.
That's what I think too. All right. Is there anything you wanted to say about the race at the moment to people that we haven't talked about already?
No, not really. I don't think so. No, but I'll certainly talk to. I got a few tips off a few people who've done it before, which is I don't know whether to listen to some of the tips or try to ignore them, because some of them were quite scary. But
they're the ones like, no, sorry, don't give me that one. Don't tell me how steep that hill is.
We'll concentrate on the positive ones. So
I like those ones.
Yeah.
All right. Well, stay on, but we will talk to you again in a month's time and see how your training's gone. I'm looking forward to seeing how you're going, and we'll be able to get a bit of feedback on how you went at triple tops as well, which would be really cool.
Okay, no worries, Frosty.
But thanks for being part of the journey, Tim.
Okay, cheers, Michelle.
And just like that, we're off to a running start. A huge thank you to our courageous runners for sharing their stories, and to you, our listeners, for joining us on this epic adventure. Remember, it's not just about the finish line, it's about the journey, the community, and the moments of clarity along the way. Keep rooting for our runners and tune in for their regular monthly check-ins to see how their training is unfolding. And if you're enjoying this series, we'd love to hear from you. Why not leave us a review and share the podcast with your friends? Let's all go a little nuts together.